welcome Steve, how do you recommend about advocating for yourself within the MH system when you have MH system? When you have PTSD, when most people within the system aren't educated about PTSD, and PTSD isn't really mental health. Oh, is MH mental? Okay. How do you recommend about advocating for yourself? Advocating for yourself within the MH system when you have PTSD. So what does it mean for you advocating for yourself? When most people within the system aren't educated. What does it mean advocating for yourself? So you have PTSD, and it's not people in mental health systems don't know how to deal with PTSD, and now you are having trouble advocating for yourself. I'm having trouble. What does it mean to advocate for yourself? Oh, getting your needs met according to the condition. Okay. So PTSD is trauma based. It is something has happened and you still have something from a traumatic event, post-traumatic stress disorder. So what happened to you? If you're open to speaking about it, at least a little bit. If just to tell us what happened. Crime. Okay. So this is a big topic. Like trauma is a huge topic, and getting your needs met. Yes. So with trauma, we can approach trauma from an electromagnetic standpoint by going back, seeing where has the energy become stuck in your body, so that you can look at that through human design. You can look at that through your electromagnetic body, because every single center in the body holds different emotions. You can resolve it and become more intimate with it through talk therapy. So that's also something that I do with people. You talk about a traumatic event, I hold the container for you. I'm just, with zero judgment, with full understanding, I hold space, and you go back into the event, and then people usually release the emotion, because post-traumatic stress disorder, more like generally, is a part of you is still there. A part of your energy is still in a part of you, so needs being treatment support. So I do the thing that you're looking for. I do the treatment for, and it's basically it's talk therapy. I do a little bit of input with people, but most of the time I just hold space. I just listen and ask specific questions for you to guide yourself through the process. And then people cry, people feel seen, understood, they feel those emotions. So how trauma works is, when you get in that event, a part of you gets stuck. Let's say the trauma happened 10 years ago. There is a part of your soul, if you want to go through a shamanic perspective, there's a part of your soul, a part of your emotional capacity. So after that gets stuck in the traumatic event in the past. So you are, after the traumatic event, you are functioning on, let's say, 70% of your full. So after the traumatic event happened, you become Steve, but only 70% Steve. And you live by being only 70% Steve. And the 30% is stuck over there in the past. And the trick is slowly to get those pieces back by going back to get them. By going back, going through the entire emotional wave. Because when we go through an emotional event, traumatic event, in order to successfully live through that event, we need to go through a wave of emotions. But at certain point in that wave, either people are raped, either people are neglected by their parents, or somebody abuses them physically, or somebody robs you if it's crime, or somebody betrays you. Something happens to you physically where you detach from a part of yourself and you leave that part in the past in order for you to be able to move on with your life successfully. And then you move on successfully as like a broken, like just 70% of you moves on and 30% of you stays behind, because that's what you needed to do in the moment to survive. Because if you stayed 100% in that place, you would be frozen in time. You needed to, it's almost like your foot gets stuck in a bear trap. And you can either stay there and bleed to death and die from gangrene and bacteria infection, or you can cut the foot and go on with your life without the foot. But then you go on living with one leg. And you always feel that like there's something missing. And you feel like you are an alien in society. You're really missing a part of yourself. That's what it is to live with PTSD. You had to make a sacrifice of chopping off a part of yourself so you can move on with your life. And it feels like there's something missing. And then you have to go back, look at the wound, which is the most painful part, is looking at the place where it hurts and then sewing it back together slowly, either through a session or a few sessions or years. I'm not sure. It depends on what happens to the person. You need to sew the leg back together so you can walk as your 100% type, like fully embodied again. And I'm just using this as a metaphor. Of course, it's not your foot. It's either this emotion or that emotion. It could be your liver, your lungs, your heart. It can be your thoughts. It can be, every person is different. So if you need treatment of that sort of, if that's what you're looking for, you've come to the right place. I do one-on-one things with people like that. If you want, you can check it out on my website. So icreatelands.com.